Hello, this is being recorded for Liberty University History 701, uh, Week 5 assignment discussion. Again, my name is Robert DeGaramore, and I'm continuing on with my quest for information concerning United States coin and currency and manipulations and the like. Found some really interesting stuff this week to share with you. But before I do that, I just wanted to kind of show some observations that I've been looking at here. First of all, this week with America History and the Life with full text, I absolutely love this. I plugged in the same keywords as I did on the JSTOR, and it just went boom, and it gave me 11 books. Then I switched over from history to economics, boom, it gave me 51 abstracts. So I just zinged through all the abstracts, and it basically eliminated reading thousands of pages of discourse to get to the topics that I'm interested in. So, with that said, I'm kind of starting to get the hang of this research thing. The last 2 weeks have been very influential to me as far as how to start your research. Because, quite honestly, before this, I didn't have any idea. But we're getting better. I love the fact that we had the full abstracts, and then you could pop into it and then read their subscripts, and their subscripts would lead me to others. One thing I did think was kind of interesting, though, is I did find interesting was that in this database referred me to stuff that was in the JSTOR database, but when I was in the JSTOR database, this stuff didn't come up. So I was kind of questioning what was going on there. Anyway, it's just kind of interesting. It's been a lot of fun, to say the least. Here we go. This week, my first topic that I want to talk about is Avalita Akabo. Read that 5 times fast. Pocket-sized imperialism, U.S. designs on colonial currency. The title grips you right there. To me, I was like, oh, design of coins. Love it. Well, it had a whole different context. What it's talking about is the ideas behind the United States using currencies in their colonial expansionist ideologies. Case in point, they go into the documentation of how the United States was trying to influence the Philippines in the Philippine insurrection between, say, 1898 and 1901, when the United States was having a headbutt with the Filipinos. We'd just taken over from Spain. Their currency was completely solid and based on silver, 15-to-1 ratios. The Filipino peso was actually more stable than most of the United States currencies at the time. And we're going to do the same thing in Guam, and we're going to do the same thing taking over the Puerto Rican peso, which again was based on the Spanish real, which again was more stable than the United States currencies. So I thought that was kind of interesting how this is right when Teddy Roosevelt's getting ready to take over, and this is right when we're trying to emphasize Americanism and colonialism from an American perspective on these countries that we've just taken away from Spain. So the title in itself was kind of fun. I was looking at it as like, oh, how they design coins, and came out with something totally different, which is another angle that I appreciated. That goes into my next one here. It's the changing role of foreign monetary money in the United States, 1782 to 1857. The curious thing about this one was this was a JSTOR article that I could not and was not accessed when I was in the JSTOR database. And it shows up on this American History and Life with full text database. The point there is they're talking about how the United States had different currencies. The thing I liked about this particular essay was they had little factoids all over the place. One of the what I thought was kind of interesting was here what it was. It was talking about 1845 when 90% of the species in the United States, 1845, right before the war with Mexico, 90% of the United States currency was actually the Spanish peso. I was like, what? Yeah, that kind of stuff's kind of interesting. It shows us that United States money is kind of an experiment kind of like we make this stuff up as we go along. I thought that was kind of interesting. The last one was written by Milton Friedman. He's an economist from the Chicago School, Nobel Prize laureate, by the way, in economics. And he talks about the crime of 1873, where he's talking about pretty much the start of the populist movement in American history, where the ratio between the silver and gold, this bimetallism that we're talking about here, how they wanted to set up some sort of inflationary, so farmers in the rural areas were paying back for their farms in an inflated currency, which is pretty significant in American history because it's going to lead to this whole populist movement and this bimetallism in United States history. I can't believe 6 minutes has already rolled by. Thank you and have a nice day.